I'm Sam from Vuromantics, and you're watching Forge TV.
So you've been supporting Smoky Brights on the UK tour recently. What's it been like to be on the road with them?
Fantastic, actually. Yes, so Smoky Brights are a American band that came over from the States, and it came about quite unusually, really. We were both happened to be talking to this third-party management company who kind of just banged our heads together and said, "Hey guys, why don't you do this tour together?" And we actually had an absolutely amazing time on the road, just taking the show up and down the M1 and just having a great time. Yeah.
And they're based in Seattle, aren't they?
Yeah.
So have you worked on a really good connection with them? Do you feel like you might get the invite off to Seattle to do a couple of shows?
Well, they certainly invited us. I don't know if our wallets can quite stretch that far. But the invite was there, which is nice. Yeah.
Something you're definitely open to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're based here in Sheffield.
Yeah.
We're in Yellow Arch Studios. So you know kind of the whole big deal around the Leadmill, in Sheffield, and the iconic venue that it gets spoken about. How do you feel playing there this December?
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of history in the building, and it's very exciting. I mean, just the other day, I was looking, so you can actually buy bits of the Leadmill dance floor. So, it's certainly iconic, and I guess there is a element of nervousness that comes along with that, but we've done it before, and we're excited. We've got some wicked support bands playing with us, and it's just going to be nothing but a good time.
Yes, you've got the free support. You've got the Keys, Sahara and the Kins, if I pronounced that right.
Kazaya.
Yeah. Paisley Sunday and the Limit Break.
Yeah.
Are they bands that you've played with before?
Yeah, so bands we've played with before, or with sort of friends. With it being a local show, we kind of get to pick who's going to be playing with us. And those were the ones we went for this time, and we were very excited to have them all joining us.
Because obviously Sheffield has got quite a lot of up-and-coming bands around, so I suppose you had quite a large pool of people to choose from to come and perform in your shows. So what was it from those three that made you think, oh, I want these guys supporting us?
Yeah, a mixture of sort of really strong kind of relationships that have been built up over the years, or kind of just that we've found them to be interesting acts, or that they just match us well musically. So we think it's a really strong bill, and that it's going to be great for punters as well as ourselves. Yeah,
because talking of your music, you use synths a fair bit in them, and the artwork for Office Romance has got quite an 80s feel to it. How much have you taken inspirations from those kind of years for into your music, or if any at all?
Yeah. Well, we're in Sheffield, and Sheffield is I mean, for certain generations, well known as a sort of synthesizer stronghold. Perhaps more in recent years, people associate it with acts like Arctic Monkeys and stuff like that. But traditionally, acts like Human League and Heaven 17, and we like to fly that flag. Although we try to make sure what we're doing has a contemporary edge as well.
Yeah.
I mean, hugely inspired by the city and the sound of Sheffield. Definitely.
And you are flying that flag quite well. And speaking of Office Romance, how has the response been to the single? It came out in September, was it?
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing actually, because we recorded it quite a while ago and sat on it for several months. And by the time it came around, we were used to it and stuff, but we sort of forgot that it would be so new.
So to you, it wasn't like a new sound. It was you've been listening to it for the past 7 months. Yeah. Why was you sitting on it? Was there any particular reason?
Waiting, because we try and time things with tour announcements and stuff like that, so that it can have the biggest impact it can. And I mean, it shot up to our most streamed song on most of the platforms, which was exciting. Knocking off other songs that have been there for about a year or so.
Must be quite refreshing, though.
Yeah.
Was you performing that at your live shows?
Yes.
Before you brought it out?
Yes.
And is there quite a lot of other songs that you're also dipping your toes in on the stage and haven't quite released yet?
Yeah, we've been, we've toured, so we've got a new EP coming out at some point, which we have recorded as well, and we're sitting on that. And we've been performing that whilst we've been on tour with Smoky Brights and whilst we've been doing the other gigs that we've been doing. And so again, we're in that position where we're playing these songs, but they're not out yet.
So you kind of get like a little tease of like what it's going to be like when you release it, and obviously that must be what's next for you guys. Like you got the EP coming out. Are you planning on another tour? Like once that's officially out, to tour the EP?
Yes, So we've already booked a March tour. I mean, that might be a Fudge exclusive, that.
Oof. Right there.
But we've not announced it yet. But we're
keeping under wraps.
We're going.
Don't worry.
Cheers. But we're going, all the places you'd expect. So,
some more Sheffield dates?
Maybe not, actually. We might mix it up this time. But certainly, Scotland, the North East, Southwest, London.
Taking it national, going all the way around.
As best as we can. I mean, we're still quite a DIY Sheffield act, and we like to play small venues, not too dissimilar from this one that we're in right now. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. And
Pleasure.
You can catch the Vuromantics at the Leadmill on December 1st.
Come down.